I will. Okay. I guess I'm not surprised we burnt through all our time, but I always well, do you guys have I don't know what the word favorite means in this context. Do you have a favorite case? Whatever that means to you. And then I'm going to tell you mine.
One that we've done on the show?
Or not. One that you can't do because it's too gross, because that's another question, which I think the answer is no to. Like, is there something that's somehow off limits?
Are you asking, is there one that's unsolved that is the most fascinating? Or there's one that's...
I leave it to you, whatever the word favorite might mean. I don't know. Like...
We do have one that we won't ever do. Junko.
Oh yeah, we'd never do Junko Furuta.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Don't.
Well, I guess the reason you won't do it is because you would be doing it by describing it to me.
Yeah,
that would be the product.
It's really, really bad. I think we've done a lot of research and come back to your first question of like, how much does this fuck you up? Junko Furuta is the only case that I've looked at and read about that I was like, I was in floods of tears after I read it. What happened to that girl is horrifying.
Interestingly, though, before I forget, I
think Jeff did it.
An astounding thing. These girls do a Halloween episode. Yes. Have you done how many? You've only been on for.
We've done 2.
Okay, you've done 2 Halloweens. Their Halloween episodes are like they go out of their way to go into.
Yeah, find the worst possible shit.
Even relative to true crime desensitization, like the word, it really is super effective. By the way, like I don't know if those are like your more popular episodes, because I honestly I don't go to these things kidding myself. Like I'm here to be a hero. It's the opposite. Like I go to true crime to take a break from the pressure of like that exists of like, oh, if I choose right or wrong, I'm a good or a bad person, and I'm listening to where the pinball machine breaks down, like as Spencer alluded to. It's like debugging society. You're like going, okay, well, this Yul Brynner in Westworld like went nuts and started shooting up the saloon. Like I gravitate towards that. I want to know details. I would never bother to go as far as to say it's because I want to prevent it from happening, or it's because I love the people so much, or because I think I might be the guy that did it. It's all just like rubbernecking. It's just sort of like what went wrong, what happened, how does this work? I don't know why we gravitate to that stuff. You said you wouldn't do that one guy that's too fucked up. Right. Do you have like do you have a favorite? It's a dumb question. It makes no sense. What's our favorite murder story? It doesn't make any sense.
Mine's Serial. Adnan. You guys hear about this Adnan fellow?
Okay, I'll tell you. Look, here's my thing. I'll talk for a while.
I tried.
Finally, Dan gets a platform.
This is my request. Because I don't remember who did that. I think maybe True Crime Garage did her, but I don't hear a lot about her, and I continue to be confounded about what could possibly have happened and why there's not more investigation. Kanika Powell, I think she lived in Maryland. She's American for sure. She, if you look it up, Kanika, Kanika Powell, a young lady who her apartment. Like a guy comes to her apartment door, knocks on the door and says he's an FBI agent. She's looking through the peephole. The nightmare of this story, the reason people gravitate to it is because she does everything right. She never does anything wrong. And she looks through the peephole and the guy says, I'm an FBI agent. Can I come in? I want to talk to you about something. And she goes, he holds up a badge. And she's like, she asks him some question. I can't remember. It was like, do you have a badge number? Or like, is there... She knows to ask him something, and he just fucking walks away. And it's like the middle of the night, and she then goes over to her window, and she watches this strange dude who just pretended to be an FBI agent walking away from her apartment building, and she hears another male voice saying
behind
to that
corner,
guy,
right?
Yeah, she doesn't see the source of the voice, but she reason we know this is because she keeps records. She emails friends and family about these incidents. She hears another voice saying, other way or something like that. And the guy turns around and walks the other way. She doesn't see the source of the voice.
So he's going to round the corner one way and then he goes the opposite direction.
I mean, I'm already if the story ended there, I'm like, she emails. There's emails online. That's part of what's attractive about the case is that it's just it feels like real life creepypasta because we have her emails that she's sending to her friends and family, and where she's explaining what happened to her, and then 5 days later, another knock at her door, and a different guy at the door says, "I have a package for you." And she goes, "Where is it?" Or something. Like, again, she doesn't do anything stupid. She reacts exactly the way you're supposed to react. And the guy leaves and doesn't leave a package. It's a different guy. She is like, this is in a span of a week. She works for a laboratory that does work for Homeland Security. That's part of also why this is such a fucking freak out, because the cops can't ask her job anything about who she works with. Is this someone? And she had one of those jobs where if you asked her what she did that day, she had to tell you, "I'm not allowed to tell you." Now, there's lots of those jobs, and they're not all Area 51 level shit. But there's just some certain jobs where you're not allowed to tell your family what you did that day at work. She had one of those jobs. And when the homicide investigators call her boss, after she's, spoilers, dead, they keep telling the cops, "No, we can't tell you anything about her job and who she worked with and anything." And the cops are just like, "Okay." And so those two incidents happened within 5 days. And I think there was another knock at her door, and she's sending these emails to her mother and her sisters. It's just heartbreaking.
She called the police, right?
She calls the police every time. And the police come out and they talk to her and they look for clues. And she calls the FBI because the guy said, and the FBI says, "Yeah, no, that was definitely not an FBI agent. We would never do that, ever. We don't behave like that. We blah, blah, blah." There's like a whole slew of reasons why that could not have been us. Thank you for not opening the door. This poor girl, she then emails again, like her family, and goes, I think she was going to take a vacation or something like that. And she was like, so she had some errands to run. So she took the day off of work after the last time she talked to the cops, specifically saying, like, I don't want to leave or come back to my apartment building at nighttime because I'm a woman and I live alone. So I am going to call into work, take off of work. And like the minute after she talks to the cops, the third time, she goes from there and does her errands, and she comes home from her errands, and the guy that was the UPS package fake guy is in her hallway and shoots her to death and runs away. And that's it. No robbery, no sexual assault, didn't want in her apartment, just wanted to kill her. Fine with killing her, not in her apartment, like didn't need to, like multiple men.
Yeah, at least
why
two,
isn't
maybe three.
this a task force? What is going on? Like this woman worked for a fucking lab that was a government contract. And everyone online, all the web sleuths keep saying like, well, you can rule out the idea of a government hit because it was so sloppy. Like, why would you have a fit? That's not the point.
Job.
Like, if I work for a, it's like we're not saying that the Illuminati killed her. It's
right.
It's still possible for someone that she worked with to like want her dead and have a couple friends and all this stuff. Like I can't. It's just like, anyways. So I formally request that. I only flew you guys out first class. You don't have to do what I say. Because I just can't. I just don't understand. Like I sit in my bed at night sometimes and I go like, what the fuck? It makes me feel unsafe. I'm like, how? So people can just decide that you should be dead and then eventually they'll kill you no matter how stupid they are.
Yep.
Well, challenge accepted. We'll have a look.
What can I do for you guys?
Dan, will you fly me first class somewhere, or if I pick where I want to go?
Yeah, I will. Yes, I want you to go to.
I want to go to Ischia, Italy.
How come?
Because I have a podcast.
What are some podcasts that you guys listen to, true crime wise, that like inspire you, challenge you, whatever?
Oh, sorry. What did we listen to? We went to Transylvania. We did a road trip through Transylvania just because we thought it would be fun. And it was great. And we listened to, in the car...
Teacher's Pet.
We listened to, is the Australian one.
And that's a good one.
That's a great one.
It's about this guy who's an identical twin. And they're both like... football stars, rugby stars,
football or rugby, something like that.
And
Aussie rules.
He's married, he's got these kids, and then he's a PE teacher, and he is having an affair with multiple girls at school, but he's in love with one particular 15-year-old.
Yeah, it's always the PE teacher.
And then his and then his wife disappears, and then he moves her into his house, and then gives her wife's clothes and her wedding rings. And then he's like, oh, my wife ran off and joined a cult. And then the police are like, okay, cool. See ya. And then now, because of that podcast, they've dug up the entire back garden of the house they used to live in.
Wow.
And
Did they find anything?
They found like a cardigan that had like stab holes in it and stuff. So
It's not nothing.
A cardigan with stab holes.
Yeah.
The old stab hole
You know what
cardigan.
those come from? Stabs.
Yeah, I heard that one. That one is, those serialized, like, well-produced ones, like Dirty John, Dr. Death.
The Dropout we've been listening to recently.
That's so
really
good.
good.
And we're drawing a hard, thick line. We talked about this at dinner. Like, fuck these, like, weird Geraldo-esque, like, look, I'm just going to say it, tenderfoot, like, TV. Like, it's active cases where people are like, I thought I'd try to do a podcast. This is happening to me. I can't believe people are listening. Yee-dee-dee-dee. There's a popular one now called To Live and Die in L.A.
Boo. Yeah, we hate them.
I think it's an incredibly poor taste and, like really irresponsible.
That was the opposite of a yoop.
Whoa.